It is a journey through the Bible with Mukhwana Isaac. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yesterday, we looked at the renewal of the covenant and we saw how necessary it was and how it made the Israelites get organized. Today, we look at the tabernacle. When you read chapters 25 to 32 and 40, actually 35 to 40 of Exodus, these do describe the liturgy of the Israelites, the tabernacle and its coverings, the priesthood and priestly vestments. The tabernacle was a tent made of wooden frames covered with skins. Inside, there was a rich veil dividing the tent in two. One part was called the holy place, in which was contained the altar of incense, a table on which were kept 12 fresh loaves representing the continual presence of the 12 tribes of Israel before God, before Yahweh, and a 7-branched candlestick, the second part of the tabernacle, much smaller and hidden behind the veil, was called the Holy of Holies, in which was kept the Ark of the Covenant and a plated chest. That is the Ark in Latin, which means chest. This held the two stone tablets on which were written the 10 Commandments. The heart of the covenant outside the covered tent, of course, was a large unroofed area where the altar of sacrifice and the basin of ceremonial washing were placed. I want to use a quick example, the best example. If you went to the Catholic Church, especially the parish, talk of parish, yes, you realize that the area of the congregation is big. That is one part. Now, the other small area, by then it must have been hidden. But right now, you can see it, and that is where the priests be. It's called the Holy of Holies, where the tabernacle, where Christ rests. That is the Holy of Holies. The tabernacle was the center of the Israelites' lives. God was said to live over the two gold cherubim on the top of ark. But the Israelites knew that God could not be contained in such a small space, as we know that Christ is present in the blessed sacrament. That is how they knew. But to them, the ark was the sign of his active, merciful presence among them. Just like it is with us, the Eucharist, he dwelt among us and he remained in our midst in the blessed sacrament. We get him daily in the Eucharist. In the Hebrew, actually in Hebrew, the tabernacle was called the tent of reunion or of meeting. It was the place where God talked to Moses face to face. We read this in Exodus chapter 33 verse 1. Or a mouth to mouth, Numbers chapter 12 verse 8. The Israelites would go to the tabernacle and Moses acted as their spokesman before God. Exodus chapter 33 verse 7. The tabernacle was also called the dwelling or abode, to express the way in which the God who lives in heaven lives also on earth. And so the tabernacle of the Catholic Church, it is an abode. Yes, we have this small area, the Holy of Holies. That area you find a tabernacle. And so when we remember that the ark had the stone tablets on which the law, that is the covenant demands, was written, by which God became their God and they his people, it is not surprising that the Israelites looked on the tabernacle as symbolizing God's presence, their God among them. And the temple of Jerusalem was later built according to the same plan as the tabernacle, only larger. And the Jerusalem temple is today's churches you see. Yes, the book of Exodus ends with the description of the movement of the cloud while the cloud rested on the tabernacle. Yes, the people of Israel would not travel when it lifted. They would go onwards. Exodus chapter 40 verse 34 to 38. That brings us to the end of the book of Exodus. Tomorrow we shall just have something to do with just a brief note, like an overview of the book of Exodus, the book of Leviticus, and the book of Numbers. And on Monday we shall look at difficulties, the complaints, yes, from Sinai to the promised land. I have been Mukhwana Isaac with the journey through the Bible. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Be blessed.